everyone, welcome back to ASX Market Watch and charting trend signals around the world. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's absolutely fantastic to have you here. Here we look at the world charts and determine which way they're heading, because we believe that 3 out of 4 stocks might follow the overall index. And if we know which way the index is heading, we know which way 3 out of 4 stocks might be heading as well. Very, very simple stuff. We're looking at all the world indices today, so I'm going to make it very quick. We're starting down under Australia, of course, which is the market that I trade personally. And this is the All Ordinaries. So very, very simple stuff. Over the last couple of days, this is the most bar of note, or the biggest bar of note. This is the one, basically we talked about it a couple of days ago. It started low, went up throughout the day, closed low as well. Guys, this indicates that the new level to beat is that level, the top of that bar, because there's basically sellers at and around that level willing to come into the market and push the price back down and basically sell their holdings at those prices. So yeah, very, very simple stuff. We're flirting with a trend change at the moment. As you can see, this beautiful trend line, very simple. It's just a line on a chart. The market is currently trading around that trend line, as it will tend to do. Price will tend to sort of consolidate around trend lines and find support and resistance there. However, if it can get above this bar now, then that is basically, yeah, that would be a decent entry signal for me at that point. But not yet, guys, for me anyway, because we're still in this sort of sideways channel. Yeah, if you're the brave amongst you would probably fade this. On a longer term basis, if the market were to trade below this channel, which is like quite a large channel, but if it were to trade below around 3,900, that would potentially be like a stronger exit signal. So until then, we've got sideways movement. I'm looking for a close above 4,470 approximately for an up signal, or 3,900 for a down signal on a longer term basis. But yeah, other than that, that's the All Ordinaries. Very simple stuff. Next, we've got the S&P 500. Very simple stuff again. The S&P 500, we've got this downtrend line. Closed above it, had a short-term entry signal right there. However, we've still got resistance. As you can see, we've got resistance at 1,320 on the S&P 500. So yes, just be very cautious. And if we wanted a longer-term signal, so this is a short-term uptrend signal at the moment, but again, we've got resistance at 1,320. For a longer-term signal, we'd want the market to go up, down, and up on a sort of over about 2 months or more, basically. So currently, yes, very short-term move, this one, but it is a short-term up move, and so yeah, what it is. You have to call it. Yeah, there's no sense calling it something else. Basically, yeah, that's what we've got. Just be very cautious. Keep your stop losses in, because we do have a lot of resistance still around this level, 1,320. And next is the FTSE. Very similar story on the FTSE. We do have a short-term uptrend, but yeah, things are so dicey in Europe at the moment. I'd be very hesitant with this. However, it has sort of given us that short-term uptrend. What we'd be looking for, if the market closed below 5,333, that would indicate that short-term uptrend had failed. So just keep a very close eye on that. If the market does continue above this current top here, which is 5,740, then that would be basically a stronger signal, so a stronger uptrend signal for me at the moment. Basically because we've currently got this little zigzag pattern here. It's happened over more than 2 months, which is perfect. But yeah, so that's usually sort of a medium-term entry signal, but we've still got a lot of weakness. See these bars here? They're long tail bars that are closing very low. Still remains in a short-term uptrend for now, but be very careful. Next, we've got the Hang Seng. Hang Seng is very simple. Again, basically the same as all of the rest of the world. Check this out, very simple stuff. See this steeper trend line indicates that we've got a short-term entry signal there, and that's at around 19,000. But still, obviously, we've got resistance coming up at 21,000. So, yeah, it's a very tight range. And again, if you wanted a longer-term signal, you'd want this to unfold, a little zigzag pattern to unfold over 2 months or more, and that's currently what's happening. One last thing as well is, as we jump onto the Nikkei really quickly, is November to January tends to be the 3 strongest months of the year, and so that's something that, it's just be very, very aware of that, because we called the old saying, sell in May and go away. Sell in May and go away, that came to fruition perfectly, and so just be very cautious, because, November to January is traditionally the strongest 3 months of the year. And again, on the Nikkei, we called a short-term up move based on this little downward channel here. When it broke out of that, we said we'd expect higher prices, which we did get, but there's still showing weakness there. And now, in fact, what we're also seeing is the exact opposite. So we're seeing a rising channel. Now, rising channel tends to, if it does break out below that, which would be 8,600, about 8,600, then that would lead to potentially lower prices based on that channel pattern there. That's just something, most people will know how to trade channels, and it's a good line in the sand for you as well, if you're looking at potential short trades. And exactly the same thing in India. As you can see, we've got a downtrend, we've got a new uptrend within that downtrend, so short-term uptrend here, but still resistance at the previous trend line at 18,000 on the BSE 30 in India. Guys, that's pretty much the world from a chartist point of view. Very simple, as you can see. Still in longer-term downtrends, but we've got short-term uptrends emerging. So yes, this is something that's it's either going, keep your tight stop losses in, and wait for a longer term signal to emerge if you're looking at trading longer term. Otherwise, feel free to trade the movements in between these larger movements. I hope that all makes sense. Guys, I will see you next week, and happy trending until then. Bye for now.